Hello and welcome to High Point Music's Gear Reviews. I'm Lewis, and in today's episode I'm going to show you the one and only one from Mad Professor Pedals. So the one is based on what's known as the Brown sound. And the Brown sound is what is typically referred to as the crunchy guitar tone that Eddie Van Halen got in the Van Halen years. So it's that amplifier sitting on the edge of total meltdown, super tight crunch distortion, great rock kind of sounding guitar. And in my opinion, this is what this pedal does. A great feature of this particular pedal is its built-in reverb, so you can really create that stadium rock style sound with, again, one button hit of a pedal. So I'll show you some low gain sounds, some high gain sounds, and what you can do with that reverb. Let's check it out. So starting off with a neutral tone and our gain turned all the way down. You can hear it's still a pretty crunchy sound. Dial a little bit of reverb in, just while it's at this low gain setting. You just hear a little bit of it there on the tails. At about 12 it gets pretty saturated. And then pushing it up makes it real stadium kind of sound. A little bit of a change there. You can hear where the guitar gets a little bit more washed out, which can be a great effect, and in the band mix will probably be more useful than just by yourself. But at those low gain sounds, you can pretty easily go from here to about 12 and go from a fairly wet to a fairly subtle sound. So as we push our gain control up now, we get more clipping, more saturation. You can hear those notes taking on a few more harmonics. Getting pretty tight and crunchy there. So put a little bit of reverb in. Just hear it in the background, so I'll leave it there for now, but you can dial that up further. And then do cranked. You can hear there's more pick noise, more harmonics, and more sustain going on. And the bass is pretty well controlled. Our presence control gives us that brightness control, where from about 10 through to about 1 or 2 is going to be the most useful of that range. It does get pretty bright here. So I think changing guitars, that's a good area to get familiar with. But I mostly like it between the 2 and the 10-30 kind of position. A subtle change in gain, but again that 2 o'clock position really brings it out nicely. And of course that fully saturated sound with that reverb coming in over the top is very classic rock. So there you go. A great classic distorted guitar sound. Some would say that it's kind of that 80s guitar sound, but the amount of alternative music and modern rock that still use that crunchy guitar amps going to find this pedal fairly useful. It's got a great tonality to it. There's not a huge range of gain available. It's not something I would use as an overdrive pedal. It's definitely aimed at the higher end of clipping, but stacking another pedal before this can give you those sort of sounds without having to have this pedal on. So it's more aimed at that higher end, but in that higher end I think it performs really nicely. The presence control is a nice touch. The bass is set really nicely internally, so being able to just brighten that guitar tone up and compensate for the changes in gain I find works really well. And I think the reverb effect is probably more useful than a delay. I like the pedals that have the delay built into them. I do think it's a useful and well executed effect, but I think that changing reverb sounds is a little bit less dangerous. There's no time to certainly play with or to get it in or out of time with, so the reverb makes it a really versatile unit. If you wanted to stack a few of these together and have different reverb settings, I would more than happily use 2 of these together to get a couple of different sounds, and then maybe a second reverb pedal or a separate reverb pedal to do anything clean that you might be using as well. So well executed, sounds good across the reverb and the distorted sounds. They don't call it #1 for nothing. If you're interested in checking one of these out, you can do so by following the links below. You can also head over to the blog and check out some more information I've got about the pedal there, about the internals and the sort of styles of music that you could get into using something like this. If you want to see some more of this kind of stuff, you can let us know via our social media. We appreciate comments, suggestions, questions, so jump on there, leave us a comment, give us a like, a thumbs up, a share, a subscribe. We really appreciate it. And of course, if you've enjoyed it, I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks again for watching.